Hello, George. Let's start talking about your album, new album first, Faith. Where did you record it, and which musicians did you use?
I recorded most of it in Denmark, and some of it in London. And some of the musicians were people who were previously on Wham albums, namely Dion Estes, who's a bass player, and Hugh Burns, who's a guitar player. And most of the rest of the album I played myself, with the exception of some keyboard parts that were played by a new player called Chris Cameron, who's very good.
What about touring?
I'm touring as of next February. I start the tour in Japan, and I work my way from Japan to Australia, then here to Europe, where I'll be playing here in Holland and surrounding countries, and then England, and then finally America.
When Wham stopped, you wanted to shake off your teenage image. Do you think that you are more professional now?
I would hope so. I mean, one of the things that I can't do anything about is that I'm still only 24. You know, I'm still quite young. So if I would never try to get rid of anybody who's appreciated my music or for any reason. If I've been appreciated for any reason, I would never say that I wanted to get rid of any kind of recognition. I'm very pleased for all the people that have been loyal to me the last 4 or 5 years. But I want to add to that, obviously, as a musical challenge. I want to widen my audience, and I think a lot of the people that started out as Wham fans have grown up with me, you know. And there are definitely things on this album that will appeal to a totally different audience. But it's really not a conscious decision to try and get rid of one thing and get rid of another and gain another. I think the thing that was most frustrating about Wham was not the attachment of some kind of image to me. It was more that the musical restrictions that I felt I imposed on myself with the band.
In an interview, I read that when you get makeup on your face, that it's quite erotic and that you fall in love with the makeup girls for about 30 minutes. What's true on that?
Well, I have my makeup. This week I've been getting it done a lot, but it's, of course my girlfriend is a makeup artist, so that's all very above board. It's very true. I mean, I always used to talk about this with Andrew. If the makeup artist on hand was you know, anything like presentable, you automatically found her very sexy once she'd been touching your face gently for half an hour, you know. It's a very, I mean, I think most people, most men as well, if you actually get them to admit it, really enjoy having makeup done, because regardless of what they look like at the end, you have this sensation, you know, very kind of sensual sensation while it's going on.
Is it correct that you will lose weight for the upcoming tour?
Not really, no. I mean, I'm pretty much the same way I have been for quite a while. I do tend to photograph pretty fat, so they've always got a nice fat photograph of me, so they can say, because I mean, in some photos I look really fat, and the other photos I look pretty much as I am, and so they've always got a photo to say he's just lost 2 stone, you know, because they've got one with me like this or something. Yeah. No, I haven't really. I'm working out for the tour. I'm trying to get fit, but the papers said that I was 13 stone. Well, I'm actually 11 stone. I've been 11 stone for quite a long time.
Is it difficult for you to write songs? And how long does it take to write a hit song?
I rewrite some things, some compositions, and usually the best ones, I think, tend to happen very, very quickly. Some of them, the biggest, most successful records I've had have been recorded incredibly quickly. I mean, Different Corner took me about 14 hours, writing and recording from beginning to end, and Go-Go took 2 days, which was pretty quick. And then on the other hand, something like Careless Whisper was written, even though it was written when I was a lot younger, that was written over the course of a couple of months. There are some records on the new album that have been written over the last 2 years. But, for instance, there's a track on the album called One More Try, which is my favourite track on the album, which was recorded and finished within 8 hours, and that was written as it was recorded, you know. So sometimes I can write something very deliberately and slowly, and it will be successful, and sometimes I can write something that really just comes in like before I know it, I've finished it, and it can be, you know, some of my best work.
Is it true that Faith was never mentioned to be a single?
Faith, was never actually intended as a single when I first recorded it, and then I listened to it more and more, and because in fact originally it was only 2 minutes long. Originally there was no guitar solo, there was no real guitar sound on it or anything, and everyone said it's great, but it's too short, you know. And everyone kept saying that I love Faith. So I thought, well, maybe I should put it out as a single. When it came to that, I started thinking 2 minute long single is a bit, you know. So I went in and extended it. But it was originally never intended as a single. It was just going to be like a small track on the album, really short track.